Sheffield United remain the leaders over in the Championship with a 2-point lead over their nearest and dearest, them six-fingered freakazoids Burnley, who will take full advantage this weekend in a stacked fixture list. What am I talking about? I'll tell you all about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. It's all about Matchday number 19, that's right, over in the Championship with Burnley and Sheffield United sitting in the automatic spots at the moment, but the likes of Leeds could actually break up that dynasty and maybe even Sunderland to get back in the thick of things. And don't rule out these guys, the mighty blue and white. Can they get themselves back into the playoff mix? We'll take a look at that and much more in a second. If you knew where you've been, hit your subscribe button. You want to stop shop for Championship, Blackburn Rovers and World Football is right here, boys and girls. And before we jump into it, a big shout out to the members and a big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. What we're going to do now, though, is revisit those last weekend's games and, of course, the Superbru, and then, of course, look forward to a full fixture list of matches. So sit back, hold tight, because here we go. Alrighty then, folks, let's take a look back at the last round of games over in the Championship. And, of course, some big upsets, of course, out there. But Sheffield United were not one of them. Of course, business as usual, 1-0 winners over Sunderland. I went with a 2-1 win myself. The Borough back to winning ways, of course, after a loss to Rovers. 3-1 win over Hull City. Of course, new managers still waiting to be confirmed for the Tigers. Kicking on forward, though, that was a 2-0 win in my eyes. Oxford with a draw against Millwall. I went with a 2-1 win, didn't get that right. Watford could only draw with QPR with the home win as well. What about Rovers, eh? What about the mighty blue and white and mighty full of it? Well, we won their winners over Leeds, who were shit, dog shit FC. Rovers coming out top with their win and a clean sheet. Meanwhile, problems still mount for Wayne Rooney FC as they got battered 4-0 win by Bristol City. But things could turn around now because they're back in the home dugout this weekend. Meanwhile, Frank Lampard's boys could only draw against Cardiff 2-2 in the end there over at the Rico. Norwich 4, Luton Town 2 as predicted. What a big bad zinger that was. Meanwhile, Preston West Brom as predicted. Burnley with a 2-0 win over Stoke as I called it. Swansea against Portsmouth 2-2 in the end. Pretty much on the same lines right there. But Derby did lose to Sheffield Wednesday, which of course is massive for the Owls as they try to continue their amazing recovery under Danny Roll. That's right. The table, though, looks like this, guys. As you see, it is Sheffield United, tip at the top of the table with a fantastic 38 points. 2 points, of course, were deducted, so technically they should have been on 40 points. Burnley, though, hot on the heels with 36. So they're in the automatics as of right now. But it could all change this weekend with Leeds and Sunderland within the striking distance of breaking into that top two. The Borough are in 5th, Watford are in 6th. Then it's West Brom, Rovers, Norwich and Millwall all trying to get themselves into that mixer as well. QPR, Pompey and Hull going down as of right now. Cardiff not out of it yet. Wayne Rooney could be the next to be fired. What's going to go on with Marty Cofientes? And what about Rob Edwards? It's all crazy down the foot of the table. But what about the state of play of the Superbru? Well, it looks a little bit like this, guys. Monkey Chops picking up 17.5 points this past week. The guy with the bear also 17.5. And Jimmy Pastone with a 17.5 as well. Where am I? I got 14 points, which is pretty dang good. The Wanker Clarets are up there as well, 14 points as well. Fark Alive, Pennywise, all the guys are in there. Make sure you smash the like, smash your subscribe, and get back into the thick of things. Some guys are taking their feet off, like Philly Pete. What's going on with Philly Pete? He's lost the pace right there. But what about the leaderboard? Well, I am currently finding themselves in 10th spot. That's right. Power 10, up 2 spots to number 10. No change at the top, though, with KP21 and UK in CA. They are in the bronze and silver medal, respectively. Brews on first. These are in 3rd spot, up 2 spots as well. As Summit 2018 taking a big old hit, going down to number 7. Big move, though, is Jimmy Pastone. 14 spots moved up to the top 13. But he's in my shadow right now, as are a lot of the other guys as well. So make sure you smash the like, smash your subscribe, and get involved with the next round of games. If you see your name in there, which is nice and slow, get there and smash that like for me. Please, please, please. And of course, we're now looking forward to those next round of matches. To get involved is the link right here. Is the Superbru is wide open and it's very much full of still twists and turns throughout the season. But speaking of twists and turns, look at these games, guys. Look at these stellar artois of games. We've got Burnley, Borough to kick us all off, coming at you on Friday, December the 6th. It is festive period, full swing. Let's get into it, starting with that trip to Turdmore. It's Burnley under Scotty Parker. 4 wins on the bounce. They've not been flashy wins. They've just been enough. They're doing the business, and they are now into 2nd spot right now with 36 points for the campaign. Up against free scoring, Borough, 5th in the table with 30 points for the campaign. Just 1 defeat in the last 5. 67% form for them as well. Comanaccio as well. They played each other 18 times since 1994. 6 wins for Burnley, 8 wins for the Borough, 4 draws between the two sides. The last time they played, though, at Turdmore was a 3-1 win for Burnley, who, of course, are unbeaten against Middlesbrough over the last 6, picking up 4 wins and a couple of draws. Burnley, though, on the back of that 2-0 win over Stoke, back-to-back clean sheets, 5 clean sheets on the spin for Burnley. And, of course, defence wins titles, guys. I'm saying that quietly. Borough, though, are the opposite, scoring a shit ton load of goals. If you exclude that little blip on the resume there, we're not going to talk about too much. We've got 10. What we got? 10 there, 10, 5, 15, 18 goals scored in the last 5 matches. You do the math on that bad boy. Pretty good a goal return for the guys there. Let's go back into that. Of course, look at Burnley. Of course, their most recent match was that a 2-0 win over Stoke. Borough beating Hull most recently. The odds here, 5-4 is your freaks. 13-5 is the tie. 90-10 is the draw here. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Under the sky, cameras, Friday night lights, the Borough will take a point and they'll be happy with that. They ain't no slouches, guys. You know, you're going to have to take something special to beat the Borough. That's right. Leeds United, they're up against Derby, and that's when I come out to Ellen Road, one of the early kickoffs this Saturday, December the 5th. Farkers boys, 67% form for them, and they are 3rd in the table. Just 1 defeat in the last 4, 2 defeats in the last 6, if you want to look at it that way. Derby, though, just 1 win in the last 6. They're on 33% form, sitting in 15th for the table with just 20 points for the campaign. 41 times they have played since 1996, 15 wins apiece and 11 draws. The last time they played at Ellen Road, it was a 1-1 draw back in September 2019. Goodness gracious me. So there might be a bit of a mental hoodoo here for Derby, because the last 2 times they have played at Ellen Road, Derby have got something out of it. That's right. So they're unbeaten in the last couple of matches. Derby, though, on the back of that 2-1 loss to Sheffield Wednesday, back-to-back home defeats for them. They're having more joy in the road at the moment. Derby, meanwhile, Leeds, they lost to Blackburn most recently. Did I tell you about that? Well, they did. They were shit. They lost 1-0 to Blackburn last time around. I'm being humble. It is, of course, Christmas period. Being very, very humble. 11-4 on, though, is your Leeds. Ellen Road is a different place, though. 4-1 is the draw. 7-1 is your Derby County. Leeds will bounce back here comfortably. Got to go with a 3-0 win, brother. 3-0 win for the Leeds United. Meanwhile, we go to Hillsborough. It is, of course, Danny Roll's Sheffield Wednesday up against Preston North End under Paul Heckingbottom. Danny Roll, 58% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 5. They are 12th for the table, 25 points for the campaign. Up against the Nobbers, Paul Heckingbottom's boys. They are 18th for the table, winless in at least the last 6 games. In fact, they haven't won in the last 9 games, but they have been proven to be difficult to play against, picking up 4 draws in the last 5, 18th for the table with 18 points for the campaign. Played each other 32 times since the year 2000. 10 wins we got for Wednesday. 14 wins for the Nobbers. 8 draws as well. The last time they played at Hillsborough, 1-0 win. It was for Preston back in August 2023. The Nobbers, though, drawing against the likes of Derby, Stoke and West Brom, both home and away. As for Wednesday, picking up back-to-back away games, backing up away wins, beating Hull and Derby. The last time they were at home, picking up a 1-1 draw against Derby. 1-1 draw against Cardiff. My mind's all over the place. The odds for this one, Sheffield Wednesday 10-9 on for the victory. We got 23-10 is the draw, 10-3. Your away win. Going to be Danny Roll's boys here, surely. Going to go with a 2-0 win. Wednesday taking it. They look good. They do look good. Awkward, frustrating. Of course, going under the radar at the moment. Sunderland, though, they are not going under the radar. They have been flying high all season long, taking on Nasius Pellich's Stoke City at the stadium. And like Reggie Labreeze, Mackems are 4th in the table, but winless in the last 6 matches. They are getting results, though. They're drawing games, drawing 5 of the last 6. Up against Stoke, who are also a bit of a draw kings right now, but winless in the last 4. They're 14th for the table, 21 points for the campaign. And up against Sunderland, 4th for the table, 42% form for them as well. 37 times these two clubs have played since 1993. 15 wins for Sunderland, 14 wins. Stoke, 8 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at the stadium, it was a 3-1 win for Sunderland back in January 2024. Goodness gracious me. However, you don't have to turn the clock back too far for when Stoke put 5 past Sunderland back in March 2023. Sunderland, on the back of that 1-0 loss to Sheffield United, to make it back-to-back games without a goal. Stoke also back-to-back games without a goal. So could it smell like a 0-0 draw? It does smell like a 0-0 draw at the moment. But 4-3 on is your Sunderland, 50-4 is your away win, 30-5 is the draw. Going to go with Sunderland here. 3-1 win, back to winning ways and back into the mixer for those top 2 spots. Cardiff up against Watford. Cardiff still yet to make a call on their manager. management situation. Omaritza remains. It does appear that he's not going to be the guy to do it, but they are winless in the last 5 up against Watford under Tom Cleverley. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 6th in the table, 30 points for the campaign. Up against Cardiff, who are 20th with 17 points to their name. They played each other 29 times since 2003, 11 wins apiece, 7 draws between the two sides. Last time they played in Wales, 1-1 draw it was. In fact, though, looking at the last 6, the home side hasn't won this game in the last 6. The last time the home side won was when Watford beat Cardiff at the Vicarage Road back in December 2018, and both sides were in the Prem de la Prem. Cardiff, though, on the back of that 2-2, victory, not victory, 2-2 draw against Coventry, bounce back ability there. Watford also picking up a draw against QPR to make it back-to-back clean sheets heading into this one. The odds, though, for this, we're looking at you. What are we looking at you? We're looking at 6-5 is your Cardiff, 21-10 is your Watford, 13-5 is your draw here. 0-0. Yep, smells like a draw. Watford have been a bit blank of late, goalless, keeping it tight. Going to Cardiff, it just smells like a 0-0. Plain and Jane. Meanwhile, we go to Hull City. It is, of course, the Tigers up against the Rovers at the MKM Stadium. Still yet to announce their manager, hoping to hang on a little bit longer. 5 defeats in a spin for Hull right now, who are 22nd in the table, 15 points for the campaign. Up against John Eustace and Blackburn Rovers, who are 8th. 28 points for the campaign. 3 wins on the bounce, of course. Played each other 19 times since 2008. 6 wins for Hull, 9 wins for Rovers. 4 draws between the two sides. Last time we played at Hull, 3-2 goal fest back in December 29th of December 2023. Hull are actually unbeaten against Rovers. They did the double over us last season, picking up a win at Ewood and the MKM Stadium. They've actually gone 3 games without a loss against Rovers. But Hull's form at the moment, losing to Borough most recently. And last time they were at this venue, they also lost to Sheffield Wednesday. Rovers, though, on the back of successive clean sheets, in fact, 3 wins on the bounce, but importantly, big wins over Borough and Leeds United, both 1-0s. The odds for this one, 8-5 is your Hull, 13-8 is your Rovers, 12-5 is the draw. Gonna go with it, guys. They're gonna be not gonna be that exciting. Gonna go with a 1-0 win on the road for Rovers to keep up the heat, with a dream for top 6 still. A bit of a possibility. Let's go to Luton Town up against Swansea. Coming out at Kenilworth Road. That's right. Luton under Rob Edwards. 42% form for them right now. Just 1 win in the last 4. They're 19th for the table. 18 points for the campaign. Swansea. Luke Williams. 30th for the table. 23 points for the campaign. Just 1 win in the last 4. These two sides have played 11 times since 2004. Just 4 wins. Luton 6. Swansea, 1 draw between the two sides. Last time they played at Kenilworth Road, it was a 1-0 win for Luton back in March 2023. Luton have actually won 3 on the bounce against Swansea and 3 wins on the spin, 3 clean sheets to boot as well. Luton, though, on the back of that 4-2 loss to Norwich. They've conceded 7 goals in the last 2 games combined. Swansea on the back of a 2-2 draw against Portsmouth in their own backyard. The odds here for this one, we're looking at Luton 6-5 for the victory, 9-4. Yes, Swansea 12-5 is the draw. It's going to be Luton, isn't it? They need a result, and they've needed one for a while. 3-1 win, statement result to get themselves moving up the table somewhat. Let's go to Millwall. Coventry, that's right, coming at you over at the Den. Millwall under Neil Harris. They're going under the radar, as they do, sitting in 10th for the table, 25 points for the campaign. However, 3 draws on the spin. Up against Coventry, winless in the last 5, 60 for the table, 18 points for the campaign. I, for one, do not believe in this appointment for Coventry. I think they made a right old clanger here. They are 27. They played each other 27 times since 2001. 12 wins Millwall, 11 wins Coventry, 4 draws between 2 sides. Yeah, I think they could have done better with that. I think they were better candidates. I just don't know what they've done. I think it's going to bite them in the ass in the long term here. Highbrow coach, a lot of expectation on them. But last time that these two sides played at the Den, it was a 3-0 win for Coventry, who've won 3 on the spill against Millwall, including back-to-back wins at their own place, but also picking up that big win last time, November 2023. Of course, Millwall, though, on the back of 3 draws, drawing with Stoke, Sunderland and Oxford. Coventry, though, picking up a 2-2 draw against Cardiff, and they are winless since match number 13 against the Borough on the road. The odds for this one, then, we're looking at Millwall 6-4 for the victory, 9-10 is your Coventry, 21-10 is the draw. Going to go with surprise. They're going to go with a Millwall 1-0 victory. Job done, piece of cake. 3 points in the bag, and not the great start that everyone's expected under Lampard. Let's go Green Army, that's right. Plymouth up against Oxford, coming at home park. That's right, it is Plymouth. They need a result, and fast. They are 33% form for them right now, just 1 win in the last 6. They are 21st in the table, 17 points for the campaign. Up against Oxford under Des Buckingham, they are 17th in the table, 18 points for the campaign. A win for the Green Army could see them leapfrog Oxford in the old rankings, and they've played each other 22 times since 2011. 7 wins Plymouth, 12 wins. Oxford, 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at Plymouth, 1-0 win for Plymouth, who've won 4 in the spin against Oxford, including victories at the Kazam and this very venue. But Plymouth are on the back of some heavy defeats, conceding 10 goals in the last 2 games combined, with the last win being a 1-0 win over Pompey at this very turf. Now that is the benefit for this one, or that is the shining light for Plymouth. Their home form is still solid, and that's where they're going to get their points from. Oxford, though, not been great as well, winless since the last match. The last victory was back in match number 14, 1-0 winners over Hull. The odds, though, for this one, Plymouth are 6-4 for the victory, 7-4 is your Oxford, 12-5 is the draw. Green Army win this one, 2-0 win, but a bit of heat reduced under Wayne Rooney's shoulders. Portsmouth, though, up against Bristol City coming at Fratton Park. That's right. And I believe this now. Portsmouth have seen the light. I think they are starting to grind out some results, and this could be one of them, as John Mousinho's boys are rock bottom. 13 points for the campaign, 24th in the season, up against Bristol City. Liam Manning in 11th in the table with 25 points for the campaign. Played each other 16 times since 1993. 2 wins Pompey, 5 Bristol City, 9 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, you got to go back to March 2012. It was a 0-0 draw. In fact, competitively, 3 of the last 4 games between these two sides have all ended at all square. Portsmouth, though, on the back of that 2-2 draw against Swansea. Bristol City pick up a 4-0 win over Plymouth most recently. The odds, though, for this, 21-10 is your Pompey, 6-5 is your Bristol City, 12-5 the draw. Going with it, guys. Going with another shocker on my books. 2-1 winners. Portsmouth taking it over the Robins at Fratton Park to maybe get their season, at least give them a bit of life. At the moment, QPR will take on Norwich coming at Loftus Road. This is a tricky one here, guys. Marty Cufiente's boys unbeaten now in the last 3 matches. They are 42% form, but they are 23rd in the table with 15 points. Up against Norwich under Jonas Toddup, also unbeaten in the last 3, 42% form for them as well. They are 9th with 25 points for the campaign. Played each other 41 times since 1993. 9 wins. QPR, 19 wins. Norwich, 13 draws between the two sides, including a draw last time at this venue, 2-2 back in February 2024. Norwich, though, are unbeaten against QPR over the last 6, picking up 3 wins and 3 draws. Speaking of draws, QPR drawing with Watford at Watford last time around. Norwich scoring 10 goals in the last 2 games combined, but both of those games were at home. The last time they were on the road, they could only draw. In fact, they haven't won in at least the last 3 matches on the road. The odds for this one, though, we're looking at QPR 2-1 for the victory, 23-10. The draw, 27-20 is your Norwich. I think this could be a draw here, guys. You're going to go with a 1-1, another point in the bag for QPR. Another point in the bag for Norwich. I think that probably the Canaries would be happier with that, because this could be a tricky place. Cufientes is trying to get something going. That could be another good, valuable point in the long term. And then we go to a massive game at the Hawthorns on Sunday, December the 8th. It's West Brom under Carlos Corbehan, 58% form for them. They are, of course, unbeaten in at least the last 6 games, but drawing 5 of the last 6. Against Sheffield United, just also unbeaten in the last 7 matches, picking up 5 wins in the last 6, if not more than that. Top of the table, 38 points for Sheffield United against West Brom, 7th, 28 points for them as well. Last time they played each other at the Hawthorns, it was a 2-0 win for Sheffield United back in October 2022. Sheffield United just losing once in the last 4 against them. The Baggies, though, picking up draws all over the place. Draws against Luton, Burnley, Norwich, Sunderland and Preston. Decent draws in the grand scheme of things, but Sheffield United back-to-back clean sheets, beating Oxford and Sunderland in quick succession. However, on the road, not so great. They are conceding goals on the road. The odds for this one, though, we're looking at West Brom 29-20 for the victory, 7-4. Sheffield United 12-5 is the draw. I think I'm doing it, guys. I think I'm going with it. I think I might. Yeah, I was going to say there might be a chance I would have went West Brom here, but no. Another draw for the Baggies, which just continues to be frustrating for the fans. But that, my friends, is what I've got for you. Make sure you subscribe, smash the like. Catch you later, guys. Double match week next week, of course. Look forward to that. But until then, see you soon and keep on predicting.